you know, you think about the state of Big Clan at the moment, they're also not doing too hot. So yeah, maybe it's not the right way to play in the current state of things, but it's been a good growing period here for GR that I'm sure they're happy to play that way until they meet higher level opposition, where that maybe becomes a bit more of a trying point or a bit more of a pressure point for them as time goes on. But they need to get there first, and ESL Challenger Melbourne would be a great place to start our opening round, and it's Newhappy versus GR on the first map. GR's pick, Ancient, to kick it all off.
And of course, as much as we have talked about the GR gaming individuals, Newhappy's individuals as well will be looking like a fun time. I am also particularly excited just about, what are we going to see from 2x2x and 2-2, because obviously the last time we covered these guys on Ancient, it didn't feel like we got the most out of 2-2 in particular, right? He was really struggling, felt like he was having a bad day, and that's not what I associate with him. So, should be interesting.
Are we playing with a stand-in for Newhappy? Because I don't think... I recognize Jeje.
Jeje's from another team, you're right.
Yeah, Jeje's, I think, used to play with Newhappy once upon a time. But I don't think
he was playing for Steel Helmet for a while as well, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, well, he's not playing with either of those teams currently, as far as I know. And yeah, I don't think he's been the most active, but it does feel like we might be having a little substitution happening. And I don't know if hopefully Carl's not playing too, because then we have the coach and a sub, and then the prospects of you winning if you're Newhappy kind of deteriorate very quickly if you've got two stand-ins. You know, people should have been excited for Spirit at the start of the year. Then they had to play with Hallie and Baz, and not exactly the look that they were going for.
Jeje was playing with the Newhappy core when they qualified to the ESL Challenger League Season 44 and the ESEA Season 43 Open, when they were called Oriental Xeon. So I'm assuming that he probably played with them in the first Challenger League that they qualified to them with as well. It was Jeje, Spine Tiger, Ahanga, and KZY.
Okay.
I mean, you're saying you're looking at the standard and you're being concerned. I'm looking at the 4 players and I'm being concerned.
Yeah, no, there's definitely that point of view to have as well. Wait, who's Somniloquy?
Wait, what?
You seeing on screen? You've got Jeje, Spine, Carl, Somniloquy.
Now I just see 2 Carls. What?
No. Don't look at the sides.
Oh.
You know, we actually like on your, in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah, Somniloquy.
Maybe it's the legendary Chinese Dota 2 player Somnus. You know, back in the day when I was in the other Valve game for a little while.
Dota, I don't think they care,
What, Artifact?
Oh, okay, never mind. That's the wrong Dota game. That's the wrong Valve game.
No, when I was in Dota, I actually try not to say Dota. The demons can come out and come haunt me. Right? But no, when I was in Dota, it used to be so cool that S4, and for those of you guys who don't know, S4 is one of the best Swedish Dota 2 players of all time. I think arguably second or third best. He won the international in 2013, and it used to be so cool because everyone was like, "Oh my God, S4 is global elite." And back then, because I didn't understand how CSGO ranks work, because I was in Dota, I was like, oh yeah, dude, global elite probably means like he's like 6,000 MMR for Dota or something in Counter. Right. He must be like able to play pro on both games. Wow, what a gamer. I was not right.
I mean, to be fair, at the start of Global Offensive, before we were moving on to, either ESEA or Face It, we did actually think of Global Elite as being quite a challenge because you had to fight off against so many, questionable players. Let's say questionable players. And then the ranks got reset and people would always hold on to that like, oh, I was global before the rank reset. Praise me. Like it's some sort of accreditation. But then we got ELO and everything was fixed. So we do finally have 5 players in the server, and it's not looking like Newhappy are coming in with their full roster. So, a little weakened maybe, but we've got a game on our hands. GR starting T-side and already getting off to a pretty blazing start. Reminder, 1 kill, but there's Jeje with the trade.
Asia wants to keep it going. Blind or not, still gets it done. Salo as well found out. And the meanwhile, as a spine creep and crawl through, Temple will be leaving him a bit bloodless. Has had all of it spill out of his veins. And speaking of bloodless, we do have a bit of a bloodless server as well. Perhaps? No. It's got an injection. It's got the transfusion. And Newhappy will get the win.
Yeah, a couple hiccups at the start of the stream, but better to start that way than have it happen sort of midway through. So it looks fine. You know, JJ, nice couple kills, actually holding onto that A site when he lost some Nilliquy so quickly inside of Donuts, which is, you know, not a great way to start out on a pistol when you're having to be pressured from both A main and Donut simultaneously. But him getting those 2 kills definitely eased the pain there for Newhappy. An important pistol for them if they're finding it a little weakened coming into this. So, who's old dead inside? That must be Reminder.
Me. Oh, right. Sorry. My bad. No, Reminder is Reminder on the server.
Well, it's Salo, actually. Yeah.
Makes sense. IGLs do feel that way very often, man. It's a hard life. Who's Nevermore? It should be Mediocrity. Okay, so Mediocrity is the Shadow Fiend. qqGOD is sticking true to his name.
It's actually kind of interesting how much sort of cross-pollination there is from Dota and CS. You know, I've seen some high-ranked Dota players naming themselves Donk, for example. It's just, you know, we're all fans.
Hey, how do you know I'm named Donk?
I like to see professionals perform. You're not highly ranked at Dota. Don't lie to me.
I know, that is... I'm probably higher ranked in CS than I am in Dota at this point. Oh my god. Well, whatever our Dota ranks might be, I know what the score is right now. It's 2-0. Newhappy cleaning out the anti-eco pretty easily. No worries there. Oh, I just googled somnility and it turns out that's like a disease. It's sleep talking.
Ah. Well, soliloquy is, you know, voicing one's thoughts, isn't it? So,
yeah.
I guess, yeah, somniloquy is when you do that when you're sleeping.
Okay. There you go. Man can talk in his sleep, but can he play CS when he's awake? Well, Gia has been put to sleep. He's still going to be able to calm over. Smokes out towards the A side as he executes settles. qqGOD will still find another one before the smoke actually settles. Lee Hank forced off by the flames, and the A bomb site is free real estate, pretty much.
Oh, nice kill through smoke. That is almost certainly going to inspire a little bit more confidence coming in for this retake. Being down that extra man would not have helped, but now that that smoke's faded, there's Mediocrity just completely isolated. Oh, Wet's falling off of the boost as well onto tree. Had he held his spot, Salo could have maybe fought for main, but having to just die by the blade, that is not a very well played out post plant in for GR Gaming. Newhappy will take that retake every day.
That was a great 4v3 situation for them to just be able to quickly finish up, but then the first kill that Lee Hang is able to find, and then they propel themselves forward. A little bit of a poor angle coming out from the player on the right side who's sitting down, but Wet was dropping while he tried to make this like a lineup double peek from the vertical angle. So not only does he drop down and die, Salo can't trade him because Salo shooting in would just kill him faster as well. So a little bit unfortunate.
Definitely a weird way for that to have played out. Maybe shaking off some of the nerves a little early. I think if you're JR, you know, you see that they're playing with 2 substitutes, you're maybe thinking this is kind of your game to lose now. When we had this comparison, we were talking about them being quite close in terms of, you know, ranking or maybe potential performance here. This will be the best chance you get to beat out the likes of Newhappy. Easier than it would be typically. Soliloquy caught out inside of middle, which is not great. And there's qqQ with another entry as well, so very quickly into a 5 versus 3. GR having the whole map to play with.
Mediocrity is going to be tasked with finding Spine here if he wants to start going into Donut. Might just want to play late and just settle down with the site. But in the meanwhile, Spine's actually looking to aggress down as well. The CTs are not done with this round despite the 3v5. I don't know if they realize how much damage they've actually dealt to the B side. That could be a motivating factor, but Lee Hung will be man on an exploration mission. Lee Hung able to find out Salo, but qqGOD falling. There are no trades. This is a full reset, and now a 3v2. GR are losing out these post spawns two-handedly. Mediocrity as well, found blind as he faces into a flash that he saw from oh so far away. A reminder, good for one. Heard the bomb being tapped. Carl is able to switch out. He's the one with the kit. Reminder still trying to spam it off, but it is just Lee Hung to finish it off. I have to say, some really poor post spawns to start off this game from GR.
Yeah, it just feels so scrappy. It feels like they're almost instigating too much when they end up in these post plants. They're not feeling comfortable. You know, that starts off as a 5 versus 3, and for Newhappy, you know, just clamoring back into the bomb site. I mean, they're more than happy with how the fights kind of played out. The GR players weren't the healthiest for that post plant, so you know, it's something to sort of levy against them. But I mean, positionally, that's just a spot you're supposed to win. Faster play in from GR, not quite the spread attack like we saw last round over, and it's the perfect call. Newhappy with nobody playing within the A site. Nade to blow open the smoke is nice though. Newhappy starting with a man up, but that bomb should go down. No! Subniliquid actually cancelling it, but he'll burn to the flames. So GR, this is going to get very uncomfortable. These smokes are going to start to deteriorate, and they're down that extra man.
Fresh smokes out, so at least they don't have to worry about that, but the CT is still not fully rotated over. Carl is so worried about a lurk through that he can't make this a 4v3 on the site itself. That's what they're waiting for. Now that Carl's made his way over, it should be time to go. Lee Hung and Carl, both with a couple of flashes, should be able to initiate this successive retake. Smoke out to A main. Lee Hung still trying to play in, but it's still just aggression coming out from GR, which gives them one at least. Traded away too quick with two on the other side. qqGOD all alone. Blind Spine as well. And if there was ever anyone to come through and save the day, it would be qqGOD.
Yeah, very important round for them to have finally pulled through. Just for some added confidence, they've been in a few advantageous post plans, and they have let those opportunities pass them by. So, nice little clutch in from qqGOD. Little 1 versus 2. And with how much Newhappy have been tested in some of these prior rounds, it's not like they come in with a very pristine buy, even though they get that 4-0 start. So GR could shatter their money here. Actually not fully invested on everybody on Newhappy, which is a little perplexing.
Doesn't quite go where it's supposed to, but Spine around the middle. Smoke will be able to find Reminder and shut him down. Of course, that mid-smoke has been growing in popularity. It's thrown out from spawn. Wet good for another one. And look, it's a 4-on-4 at least, but with 3 players on A from Newhappy and the bomb angling towards the B bomb side, this does feel more and more like it might be a safe call. That said, they've had so many successful retakes that maybe conditions them to attempt it regardless.
They are leveraging themselves in towards the B-bomb site, but they start to make a little bit of noise, and the rotates are coming here for Newhappy. They will be slightly delayed, slightly on and off timing, but qqGOD kept finding one, in fact a second, just trying to scale into the bomb site. Lee Hung wasn't even the one that took first point of contact, but qqGOD is the one that floors them. In from short, 3 kills. GR don't even crack into the site.
They had a smoke on qqGOD. He was in the site. He can just throw the smoke. Right, like, you're not going full silent. You are using Molotovs. You are using your util. If you're going to be doing that, then you need to start cutting off some of these angles. If this is going to be 2 players rotating in through cave and actually pushing forward, that opens up too many opportunities to just die. It's a strange one. Maybe they were thinking of double swinging into CT because they did, of course, molly off Guppy, but I will say GR is not looking the cleanest we've seen them be. Lee Hung, though, nade has been eaten. And spam has been fed out to the other side. Salo, not sure how he lives there, but he's got some flipping to tank, I suppose.
Well, it didn't last that much longer. There's Spine and Lee Hung just swinging in through ledge, and they've cleared out all of lane outside of B, so not a whole lot of territory you have in your domain if you're GR. So feeling a little forced to maybe lean over towards the A site, where it is just qqGOD, and them having deagles does kind of concern me. First kill there for qqGOD is nice. and eventually signed out by Reminder. Even on the jump, plucked out of the air and a rifle to be recovered, but Reminder doesn't actually sweep that one up. Not in time. Weck taking a lot of damage, and now that rifle is out in the open. So, chances have fizzled up here for GR. This will be a 6th round in for Newhappy, and Soliloquy is the one that punches it in. It's kind of perplexing to see Newhappy start off so hot. Kind of prefaced them being a bit hot or cold, rather, when we see them play. But given the stand-in situation, it's kind of staggering how much they've succeeded in these late rounds, and kind of individually outgunning GR as well.
Also,
capitalizing on those mistakes.
Just to remind everyone, this is not 2 stand-ins, this is 3. We've got Carl, their coach, in as well, right? So, you know, JJ and Soliloquy is probably at least going to be players who are, you know, keeping up their form. They're probably in eligibility to be playing in some of these teams, but Carl shouldn't be in consideration at all. I mean, Tiger's their best player, and they don't have him.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I have literally no idea who Soliloquy is.
Some Soliloquy, Michael. I'll have you know, he is not just a song.
Yeah, I'm kind of... Somniloquy is a mouthful, so...
In my head, he's just somnus.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. You know, I feel like I know, or I'm able to suss out who these people are usually through a bit of digging, but no idea who they are. And they're doing a decent enough job. Sure, they're dead here, but if they actually get punished for that, Weck jiggled, and Carl found on this bomb site. Out in the open, there's Spine at least getting the trade right back, but there's Wecht on the AWP, so 2 kills by the AWP. GR slowing the roll still, 40 seconds, and Jeje has been very elusive.
Mediocrity's position. Oh, that's a great flashbang to find Jeje as well. I think Jeje was actually spotted out earlier on as well, so Mediocrity knew he had time to cross over to the right side, makes it a bit of a, you know, a little bit of an adjustment that you have to make coming in from the CT perspective, but yeah. Newhappy do concede a 2nd round GR off the back of some good trading from Weck to make sure that they maintain advantage, but none of these are convincing rounds.
Yeah, even when they were in that 1 versus 2, if not for that flashbang, a little bit concerning perhaps. I want to see a nice confident round in from GR, because I know that, or rather we know that they can play at about a very high level. Just not really showing that as of yet. Not a lot of utility here for Newhappy, so some of this early map control that they wanted to go for has to be capitalized on in some way. Otherwise, all those territories will be conceded in the later round. Got 1 HE and a kit. Everything else is just, they just gotta fight.
Don't need the trimmings when you can just go ahead and have a low-fat meal, though. Indefinable. That is to say, Lee Hunk peeks out and gets a kill. Easy peasy. Don't need any nades. But he does get flashed up, and that makes things a lot easier, actually, for Salo. Comes through, picks up a kill, can upgrade the weapon as well if he'd like to. Might maintain the Mach 10. Good for jumping out of cave always. But speaking of jumping out of cave, Salo has found a couple of people jumping up towards it. Spine taken down, and with this, they might not be expecting the 2nd man in middle, but Jeje is going to be too late to the party. Carl, good for 1. Can he make it 2? No. Fighting from inside the smoke is unable to bear to get the spray, and it's up to Somniloquy to make a play. Somniloquy, though, he's lost his teammate, and Jeje being down makes it so, well, that round was going to be limited in its chances and opportunities regardless, but he chooses to push forward, dies, and now Newhappy will be fully reset economically.
Yeah, I mean, nice back-to-back rounds in which, you know, we've seen some very effective flashing from GR, whether it's in the 2 versus 1 or this time to just clear out Cheetah. Yeah, for them, that held so much value just simply because they could go in for a double-pronged assault onto that B-bomb site once they had smokes down, once they got the mollies in as well. And then as well finding the player trying to jump and ascend up ledge before the execute even happens. Really nicely done. So now swinging a bit of momentum into the favor of GR. Newhappy on just the pistols. Seen a lot of Zeus work. You know, some updates being made to the Zeus. No longer doing less than 100 damage when you tag somebody with it. So it is a surefire kill, kind of at all distances that it will hit somebody. And also it recharges, which is kind of cute.
Yeah. is it a surefire kill at all distances? Because I saw that being discussed, and I don't think that's actually true.
I believe it's true, but
because it's not on the patch notes. I haven't really used it myself, but hey.
Yeah, I guess it requires some testing, so don't take my word completely for it.
Yeah, because I did see the Monty clip as well. That's where everyone was like.
I heard it from a person who's heard it from another person. You know, it's one of those where it's like, I'm pretty sure it's correct. You know, it's come from enough reputable people in my eyes, but also people have been just wrong in the past, so.
Yeah, I read it on HLTV, so.
It's not my own testing. It's not my own testing. Also, the AWP zoom, slightly different. You know, there's a new update yesterday. Got a net graph out. They've added a new bob, which is not the bob you asked for, nor is it the bob that I think most people will be happy with. There's quite a few visual changes, quite a few things being changed actively as the game continues development.
Yeah, I couldn't care less about bob. What I care about is Lihan getting spammed down to 34. I don't know his name, but I don't think it's Bob. I'm actually pretty certain about that.
Yeah, actually safe. Might be his English name though. That's not an uncommon one. But I think because Bob was such a classic, it's kind of fallen out of favor. Nice kill for Wecht. They tried to go for a little jiggle, get some information out from long, and they're still actually occupying a lot of space on that ramp, still finding kills over at B. Carl trying to keep himself alive and actually fighting out in the open. Good trade, though, from qqGOD. And Jeje segmented off by a Molotov, an HE, and having to try and play a slow game and hope he's not found out before he gets an isolated fight. Going for the wide swing, though. Salo reading it and having a nice little kill as well to the tally. Not able to get the AWP for the save, but that can simply be dropped over. Last round of the half, GR have recovered their T side.
I do appreciate that we're just now seeing GR just in these full 5v5 in the bomb site effectively, right? You've got people starting to come over towards B side, and GR just said, you know what? If our retakes are going to be like this, then screw it. We don't need any lurks. We don't need any, like, random things. Let's just go 5 people and try and trade off of each other. That's working out better for us. We're not doing well in the post-spawn, so let's just try and get forward stuff done before it. And you can actually see Newhappy's not fully ready for that either. But we'll talk more about that later, because action is still continuing and ensuing down in middle, where Salo didn't realize that Somniliki had already gained some space as he moved up. But the double made downwards, and it is mediocrity to snipe out Somni. With that, 5v4, Jeje also spotted out, but what's this? A quick peek from Carl will be traded. Mediocrity will not let that go unpunished. Now the B side is open for business, but very quickly about to find a shopkeeper coming through and hawking its wares, maybe at a higher price than GR are willing to pay. Still, a deep Molotov will delay them for a while longer, and where there's one, there's two. That's the nice thing about Molotovs. Make it 3 bottles all the day long.
Yeah, none of them have smokes to dispel them. There's now a fresh smoke, a fresh flash. They're going to have to run through it. Mediocrity actually failing to find his kill, as did qqGOD. Wecht finding a kill on this AWP, and so these SMGs are closing the gap, knowing that AWP has to bolt between shots, but Wecht missing one, but there's a reminder to keep it in tow. So 6-6 at the half. We'll see if GR continue in the second.
Don't you feel like that? I will love you forever. Believe in me. Don't you think like that?
6-6 might not be expected with the start that Newhappy got, but once those post plants were a little bit less messy, though to be fair, still pretty scrappy. GR are still able to stabilize. Now they look to escalate into a bit of a lead for themselves. Newhappy on the T side will be going in for a quick B hit, and guess what? I'm wrong, perhaps. No, I'm right. But they might be wrong because GR's got a lot of players here. With the duel, he's unable to find anything, but look at Reminder. He is mopping up Cave. Salo as well, getting aggressive to try and evade more aggression from Cave. Means he's good for one, but Mediocrity is coming through with the tippy tass. Nice little shot coming out from him, and the bomb will not be planted just yet, but the round isn't over either. Lihan, caught as he's trying to move out, is given a lot of a chance to fight back. This has got to be a joke. Not sure how he's managed to stay alive there, but qqGOD without the armor is going to be knocked down. If there's even a shot to the chest, aim punch might be too hard for him. Lihan, okay, doesn't want to hang around.
This is weird. A very peculiar situation to have found themselves in. qqGOD, no armor. He thought with the kit in the smoke, and him failing on that trade might have just given Lihan all the chance he needs, and he knows he has time to play with. It's all about retrieving that package at some point or another, but Lihan might actually just kind of overcook this. Wait. Is he? I'm now concerned Lihan is disconnected. I'm pretty convinced. Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. Which,
he's definitely DC.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is a very peculiar round. I really, I don't know how to talk about this. To be honest,
to have 4 stand.
That is such a weird way for that round to have concluded. qqGOD should have won anyway off the trade, but he whiffed, and Lihan should have been able to punish, but, well, we started this game with a technical pause, and we come back into the half with another one.
It's called tradition, Michael. I'll have you know. We believe in that here.
Why are these players having so many issues? We only have 2 out of 5 of the original Newhappy core. And one of them's having technical problems now, so.
Yeah. Listen, it's not ideal.
It's not.
It's not even optimal. Hell, it's not even mediocre. It just kind of sucks.
Yeah. Even if you're GR, this is a situation where, this team does feel like they do look through a few of your demos to find, like, some vulnerabilities as to, like, what kind of plays, I guess, going to succeed more often than not when they go for these aggro plays. Because they will probably play somewhat aggressive. But then they now have to play a Newhappy that aren't the Newhappy that they would have anticipated coming into this game. And so, when teams have stand-ins, they're going to play a little bit looser, a little bit different. Individual players are going to make differing plays, so even from their point of view, it's probably not ideal. I'm sure they're, for them, it's just, you play the game that's in front of you, and that's how you have to kind of approach it. But there are certain elements of their game that won't feel as well hashed out playing kind of an unknown enemy in the server as well. Well, Lihan's back. After he failed to clutch against his internet provider.
I mean, he did come back. In the grand scheme of clutches against the internet provider, maybe that's all you need.
I guess it wasn't a total failure. Nor was it a success. GR winning the pistol, albeit unconventionally, and Newhappy will have to bend the knee. Lihan, of course, saving because of his kind of maintenance in that round, even though he wasn't really an active player. And so his money's not going to be great, but they're getting all chewed up as well through mid. Jaja just kind of resigned to his fate as well. GR not losing anything versus those pistols.
That's the cleanest round we've seen GR get all game. Now, Michael, how does a team that is kind of sucking in post plants very often, where they're losing out 5v3s, they're losing out 4v2s sometimes as well, they're losing out some great position, how did that convert into CT side? Are we just going to see more aggression coming out from GR? You know, are they going to try and stop the plants from coming in? Predominantly, is it retake heavy? Like, what are you thinking?
Retake heavy, but go for quick flanks. You know, that to me feels very GR. But if they can make some good reads based on some of this early aggression, then we shouldn't even really see them in many post plans. I feel like GR actually don't often have situations like that. This might be one of them. Losing one of the players so quickly, but then also finding this gap in towards B does mean that Mediocrity is kind of trapped behind a smoke, but he jumps round over it and actually catches Lihang. They know that he's going to be pushing deep into spawn. This is a little strange for Newhappy because they're not actually urging the plant.
They'd actually left it behind in spawn as well, which wasn't really doing them any favors. So despite the early advantage they're able to get with the kill, it's actually qqGOD who goes down later on, which is giving them the real advantage. Salo responds, but look at this flank coming up from him. He is accelerating through the smoke. Over he goes. It is Carl trying to keep an eye out for it. Gets the kill as well. So with Samiliki finding another, Wecht is the lone man standing. And listen, Newhappy might not be too eager to hunt given their HP situation, but they are very happy with the outcome of the round regardless.
Oh, yeah, Lihang, a dead man walking, them all being so low HP. I'm sure if Wecht knew just how low they were, he might have considered this, but a lot of unconfirmed damage. Not sure just how much they were weakened. But Wecht should be able to sweep up an AK. Killed one relatively close to spawn, and so, yeah, does get away with one of those rifles. That was a bit... I mean, that was basically treated as the bonus, not losing anything to the Glocks in the prior round, still having some reserve cash floating about, and Wecht, of course, saving. It does mean that they can go in with another buy, and can contest what is another full investment here from Newhappy, but even though it got a little static with all the smokes that were down, they just got so much territory so quickly with those deep smokes that it was very hard for GR to make any kind of play. They had to get Salo having a multi-kill on the flank. That didn't happen.
Oh, Salo, what a double kill find to start the round off for him. This full swings out wide. I think he made the jump as well, and with that, it's just two quickies. In the meanwhile, though, Lihang is able to find at least one response when Salo goes out for the third peak of the round, but that was just opening up space for a Reminder to push forward as well. The sandwich is being prepped, and it is going to be Lihang who's the meter pick, but maybe Spine can come through, be that annoying little vegetable that no one wants, but little does he know, Reminder is a vegetarian. That's not actually true. I should clarify.
Yeah, I mean, that is not accurate trivia. Or maybe it is, because I don't know either.
I somehow doubt it, but also doubt Carl's ability to live any longer.
Yeah, just getting shut out before the round even really gets started. Didn't have a lot of territory to even think about what they wanted to structure in the round. GR so assertive in their early round take. Just getting that quick ascent onto ledge is so disruptive. It's so annoying to play against. I'm sure anybody that's sort of played through relatively high-level pugs or sort of experiences that, if somebody's just sending it at you every round on that position, you make an active effort to either avoid them or counter them, of which Newhappy will go for the avoid that situation route, but not succeeding in actually winning their fights. They had a lot of information about how many players were just barreling out from A main, but even with all of that, taking a lot of damage for their troubles. qqGOD on 3 HP, and if he finds a quick headshot, could have actually made this round work, but Mediocrity keeping him at bay. qqGOD finally hitting the shot, and now Reminder's left in a bit of an odd position. Could flank into spawn, could just hold in towards Brokey inside of Temple. It's a thinking man's game now, and it's all about who buckles first. So long as qqGOD doesn't disconnect. This is
he's crouching, he's checking just in case. But in the game of chicken, it seems like Reminder should come out on top. qqGOD reveals his position, still actually has time to play around with, but he's decided he's sick of it. Patience is a virtue, one that he has in limited quantities. qqGOD revealing his leg yet again, and Reminder has had enough of it as well. It just swings out, gets a quick shot, and that'll be 10 on the board for GR. Won't be the easiest round or one where they stack up the most money. But speaking of disconnections, Michael, we have another Internet versus Newhappy.
Yeah, losing that battle. Just a small thing for anybody that's watching that clutch. You know, Jeja actually did a good job of getting it into the 1v1, and even just holding his spots and waiting for the counter reaction is kind of a nice way to play it. But as soon as he jumped back into Temple, you know, you just kind of you're not being given a fair fight. As soon as he knows where you are and you've got this weird elevation where even if you want to go and get that bomb, if you've decided to fight that route, you have to drop down out into Brokey from Temple. That it's you just don't have your feet planted. Your shot's not going to be accurate. There's a window there where you cannot fight basically. So as soon as he jumped back into Temple, basically lost the round from there. So it's a small thing. It's a little micro fighting mechanic that, you know, if you're going to be in a situation like that, might just stand a better chance fighting on fair ground.
Yeah. I mean, not to mention, since we are sort of talking about 1v1s, I've always found that I'm a big fan of players who, in the 1v1 with like a Deagle or something like it, they don't just jiggle big, right? They try and go for the easier shot, which is generally going to be like a flank or something like it, but then comes in the mind games and this and that, right? So there's not really a better way to do it. It's just more, hey, I like it when a player gives himself a chance to settle down, sort of. But hey,
Yeah, if you don't have to work so hard for your fights, then why not take that route?
yeah, of course. Is that more predictable? Maybe. But that's sort of the exchange. Yeah.
It's also, it comes across a little scared in certain moments, you know? So in some fights are just better if you just swing, but that's at your own discretion. You know, it does leverage your mechanics a little bit.
But the mechanics have been hard at work at the copper lines or fiber optic lines. I don't know what kind of lines Newhappy has. I would assume it's fiber optic. China seems pretty well connected.
Then why do they keep disconnecting? That is the big question. Newhappy finally with all 5 back in. Albeit it's not the normal 5, but we make do. 10 rounds though for GR, and only 3 away from closing out on their map pick. Started off a little rocky, 6-1 once upon a time for Newhappy, but GR got on a hell of a tear, and now moving into the second half, continuing that good form. Nice kill from Reminder, but the space being attained in towards the speed bomb site. It's taking a lot of damage though, just on the cross to the site.
Reminder also almost goes down over here, but his life is actually going to be quite meaningful. Swings out, spots out JJ, and with that, they know where the bomb has not been retrieved just yet. Somehow, though, Lihang just traces that qqGOD in through the smoke. A full spam will take him down, and now the collective efforts of the CTs are concentrated inside cave. Lihang. The smoke down in front, but it's a quick peek out from Mediocrity first. Carl is taken down as he tries to cross over and find deeper ground. Lihang and Jeja, both now on the site, will be finding it hard to actually back off. This double push from B ramp might not be expected. They know where Mediocrity was positioned, but they've got no idea that Salo's already in hot pursuit. Jeja has looked away. It's going to be a freebie. Wex should take it down, even if it's maybe giving Jeja some time to fight back. It's not going to be utilized. 11 on the board now for GR.
Yeah, that's perfectly played by Mediocrity. You know, once again, losing so much space onto the bomb site, just continuing to be a nuisance, though, from Cave. If Newhappy aren't going to make a conscious effort to take over that territory, then Mediocrity can just sit inside of that position. His teammates can link up from the mid flank, coming up from ledge, and can even reassert themselves down ramp, all while Mediocrity is still continuing to be a presence. You know, at a certain point, you know, you wondered whether he would continue fighting, but as soon as Salo got in position with Wecht on that flank, Mediocrity knew that if he spammed and he got taken down, then suddenly there was an escape path, a way out for Newhappy. So a lot of good decisions being made from Mediocrity, a lot of key kills, kind of setting up Wecht to succeed on that flank as well.
And now we go back to the Shakespearean question that you were asking earlier on, Michael. If so well connect, then why disconnect?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just... Yeah, they've been really having some issues. I'm confused. Do we not want to be here? Is Melbourne not enticing enough?
Like, guys, it's like the best city in Australia.
I mean, we had a, I think for some of these Asian teams that don't really get the same opportunities as likes of a Lin Vision or a Tai Lu or Mongols, for them, an event like this is a massive proving ground, and we've already had one of these events at ESL Challenger Melbourne where we had Wings Up kind of surprisingly take a series off of OG. This was before, OG kind of descended on quite the spiral.
Some would say that was the point where it all started.
Yeah, maybe Wings Up, in fact, were the masterminds behind OG's descent.
Yeah.
But that was before we had sort of gone through that, and so it gets a lot of attention. I think players get a bit more notoriety in the scene. People outside of the domestic Asian Counter-Strike space are going to look at that and think, well, either OG played very well and they got destroyed still, or OG played poorly and they got destroyed. Either way, that's a positive impression on you for doing the destruction. Even if you're the weaker team, if you can't beat a top-level team when they're at their floor, then you're always going to be considered a worse team. But I think it definitely brings up your stock. And I think it's a nice proving ground for any of these teams in participation. We can't just let Lin Vision keep getting away with it. They kicked their in-game, or rather, their in-game leader left, and they've been doing better ever since. It's a strange scenario, but I'm kind of happy for the Lin Vision guys finally breaking that barrier. Hoping another team can join them, though.
Oh, well, they try to accelerate into the B-bomb side. Newhappy will be trading very nicely. No one left on B. This should be an easy plant. Spine still playing out from back towards T-spawn, so at least being a little bit more aware of the flank that lost in the round in the previous one. But as qqGOD accelerates, Spine will be looking to take this fight as well as Jeja in Cave. Spine and Salo, not qqGOD, sorry, but flashbang through. Spine actually catches qqGOD the other way around. qqGOD completely misses out on it, so it's a freebie. I keep messing up the names, Michael, but now it's definitely qqGOD, and now he's definitely dead. And now GR have definitely lost this round.
Yeah, Wex found a couple of kills, but not actively trying to go for this retake either. It's not like he didn't have the kit. It's like he didn't have information about where these players were, but maybe just a little too much to handle, and trying to set up for some damage, but he'll be the one that loses his life. That AK would have been nice to save. I'll put it that way. GR could have maybe gone and thought about a buy here, but now their money's kind of in an awkward place. Newhappy, doors wide open for them to maybe even creep into double digits here.
Depends on whether GR buy or not. Of course, Mediocrity does have that smacking 5k. But just a couple of flashes. There you go. A few kills would be nice to have. Also, just remembering that you can punish Newhappy's economy pretty heavily. Even if there aren't too many rounds left to make use of it. Oh my god,
assuming
this is timing.
Okay. It's also assuming they didn't lose this round. That was kind of looking like a lose condition by suddenly getting rushed down ramp from Cave, but it's okay. Li Hang's got it covered.
Okay. They know what the plan is. Get the train going. Get it all going towards one destination. Just get it to the station. That's a Zeus that's been missed, and Deagle, long range, might not have hit, but mid-range Mediocrity can still make it work. AK recovered. Armor is there as well. So, hey, now comes in the damage. Newhappy are going to want to hunt. Are they willing to lose? Well, nothing, apparently.
It's all well and good. They were all prepped for the buy. Now, well, I was thinking about whether an ult would maybe come out, and I think maybe that's what Mediocrity was discussing. I think you could have just barely had it, but would have been missing out on a lot of utility, but Wex could have dropped it over, so just opting for the rifles instead. There are some SMGs out for GR as well to combat this full buy of Newhappy. They're already creeping their way towards an A play. This does start off as the lesser reinforced bomb site of the two. GR playing double within Donut. Which does lend itself to playing more for a retake, but qqGOD actually trying to fight out in the open, eats that flash, and doesn't succeed on even one.
Smoked off, is given a duel before that actually works, so Wecht is going to be just able to... What? No! Carl full of the spams inside with the bomb. He could have lost it there and then. Mediocrity can't connect with the spray either, so this delayed lurk in from Spine should be... The round closer, finds one, knows there's a second nearby. Salo can win that in duel, but can he get away? Should be able to.
Alright, just like that. A call to save. This time not hanging around to do some extra damage. It's no longer important. Newhappy. Nice little breach into that A bomb site, but capitalizing on a critical mistake. You know, qqGOD is actually one of those players that can be such a presence. And I guess, you know, that maybe adds to the extra confidence, but as soon as they start throwing utility and scaling out into the bomb site, to try and transition like that into such a wide angle, it's just such a massive risk. Kind of broke down the entire setup. You could have played behind the smokes. You could have actually, you know, set up for that spam on the planter, which is such a problem to deal with. You know, when you're playing in for the A play, as soon as you start getting spam from Donut, there's only so many places you can safely plant, because CT is also exposed, there's multiple angles. It's weird, and can get very frisky if that planter is discovered. But yeah, as soon as he dies, the whole setup kind of breaks down. That what it is for Newhappy, and Salos had enough. Wow, 2 kills, even finding the kill through elbow smoke. Spine just couldn't do anything to do really much damage, and Salos just continues giving it. It's kind of staggering, really. The only AK, but doing so much, and meanwhile, qqGOD's got a Zeus. Of course he has.
He's also as he's found another kill in the meanwhile. So these two players who are very low. There's Deagles and AKs on the other side. This is not going to be an easy round. Newhappy, in fact, this might not be a round at all for them. Wecht is holding down the line, but a fantastic shot from Lee Hang. Both him and qqGOD have been the shining lights, but one of those lights has been snuffed out. Now the full rotation towards the A side comes, or rather, it was planned. But qqGOD, he doesn't even hear it. It's not in the cards at all for him. He is without armor. Lee Hang is pushing through the smoke.
Oh my god!
Have they gone and got that? Newhappy! Fortune favors the bold, and you know what? It might even favor the foolish right now.
What is happening in these rounds? What is happening? Okay, first off, how is this the most... I mean, one of the more contestable rounds that we've seen in the past 5? In from GR, a Zeus, 1 saved AK. Like, great job from Salo, forcing fights. Maybe overstaying his welcome. You know, maybe feeling like he had to because he had pistols on the other end. Wecht looking at walls. I don't know what he's up to. And then qqGOD just indecision with that minute left. Didn't hold his nerve. It gets real weird, but we sit here tied. No bullets exchange, but no kills. Finally, reminder, floored. qqGOD able to get that one, and Mediocrity out on the bomb site. That miss from Soliloquy could have cost them, and may still do. Wecht trying to reassert himself, but Soliloquy's already out, but I miss a critical one at that, and even just a spam there from Wecht will be enough to finish the job. Man advantage here for GR. It feels like Newhappy just have to keep fighting forward.
Feels like every round the Newhappy are able to get themselves onto the B bomb side. There are just a couple of kills that go towards GR, which don't make sense, and then from there they bring it back. So Spine, can he maintain that bringing it back portion? Carl is going to be at pretty significant risk as smokes will be dissipating soon, and Spine has done his job twice over. 2 quick kills found, leaves us in a 1v1. Carl's position yet to be revealed. He's still playing from behind default. qqGOD is not going to be expecting it, and he's thunderfooting it. Made so much noise. Carl's going to peek around the corner, and qqGOD without the ammo means that Newhappy still steal away another round. Tradition continues, Michael.
So well done from Carl. Knew that his position wasn't revealed. The fact that Spine got that double kill around the smoke, it bloomed on his feet. You know, if you're GR, it actually should have been a big tell that there was somebody playing around that smoke. The fact it bloomed so quickly. But they didn't clue themselves in. They fall victim to that double kill, and Carl can just simply play off of sound. Like you said, the fact that he was thunderfooting about. That coach playing well.
God.
Nice pick from Soliloquy as well. Just challenging in from elbow. Sal's been able to get away with that jump so many times over. The fact he did it with no cover, that's a big punishment.
It's also, I think, the first time we've actually seen Newhappy purchase an op and get a kill with it.
They've been OP on this T side.
But have they been getting kills with it?
Yeah, well, he
That's-
did get one in the prior round, and then he missed the easiest shot he'd ever have.
You're right. I did definitely sort of block that one out. Can we hold that one away? But Similiki is still going to be remembering this round. Good Molotov as well. QQ's just going to burn and go down. Spine is the one to give the finishing blow, but Weck has been given some time to rotate over. His position in Temple is yet to be compromised, but a second Molotov will be keeping him at bay. Smoke down on the site, but Reminder is playing behind it. He will be spotted. Lihang actually sees him from the boosted spot. Reminder somehow given the longest duel you'll ever see, leaving Weck in the 1v3. And now Weck going down makes it Newhappy stealing it away. A map that seems like they should never have had, be it because of performance or roster. I'm amazed. Let's just put it that way, Michael.
I'm a bit aghast, to be honest. GR in certain moments looked great. You know, I feel like in terms of player performance, we actually got kind of